Hi, this is John from FlatCatGear, and what you're looking at is this is a Kovea Baking Plate, and the way it's designed, it's got these notches here, and the notches, you just line the legs up on that, and that's how you align the baking plate to the stove. And if you look at it, there is a good about a 1/4 inch overlap between the legs and the burner baking plate. And this works really well. We've done extensive testing on this. One thing that's come up recently is we had a customer and we were a little confused about this. He said, well, his burner didn't fit. And he said, well, can you send me a picture? And so he sent me a picture and I looked at it, and sure enough, the plate just slipped right through. So I called the manufacturer about it, and it turns out that there's some variation in the legs of the Kovea Spider. So if you look at this, maybe you can see where this is the one that we do a lot of testing on. This one's, it's canted over quite a bit more. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. And it turns out that people are buying Kovea Spiders in the United States through a couple sources, and one of them includes eBay. And the Kovea Spiders that are coming in through eBay are kind of different than the ones that are sold in the United States. And there's some variation in these designs. So I've been working with the manufacturer trying to figure out what's the best way to resolve this. And one of the thoughts was, well, I can make the baking plate a bigger diameter, which would solve the problem. But one of the things we did was we designed the baking plate so it would fit into a small mug like the Snow Peak 600. So making this bigger is not a great option. So we've come up with a solution, and the solution actually works out pretty slick. So adjusting these legs is pretty easy. Again, if you, this one has not been adjusted, and you can see that a pretty good gap. It's not gonna sit in there. So what you do is you take the leg, and what you can do is you can just apply a little bit of force here, and if you get the stove leg to touch the stove head and do it on all three, it doesn't take that much force to do. There's one. Just have it touch the stove head. 2 and 3. And that deforms it now that enough, you can see where I've got a good overlap on the burner. So since there's variations in the Kovea stove, our recommendation is just go ahead and deform the stove a little bit. All it does is it bends the legs in a little bit. It makes it actually easier to support smaller mugs, and also it makes it a little bit easier to wind up because these legs are canted in a little bit. The easiest way to adjust the stove is to bend the leg until the leg touches the burner head and let go. And that's it. So all the stoves coming from FlatCatGear will all be adjusted this way. So if you buy a burner, you can do this, or if you're not comfortable bending the stove, you can just return the burner plate.